They reveal those laws, they talk about those laws, but Ammaji, you cannot prove, right? You cannot prove through perception and inference, so they remain as belief systems. But we say, Veda gives you belief, you can call it a belief system, or you can say that it gives you a knowledge that you can have faith in. Faith is that attitude that gives you a chance to verify your belief. In the Veda, there are beliefs which are non-verifiable. In the Veda, there are beliefs which are verifiable. To know which beliefs you cannot verify is a study of its own. To know which beliefs you can verify is yet another study of its own. And when you choose to take up the belief that you can verify, that process, until I'm able to verify, that time lag, until from a belief which is a belief in a journey of verification until it becomes knowledge, that time, that frame is lived in Shraddha or faith. Converting a belief into a verifiable belief by making it into your own knowledge, there are certain things that Veda says that allows for this journey to take place, for which Shraddha or faith is the attitude, the approach. Veda says you can question me. The traditional teachers, the teachings give you full freedom to question. But it says there is a way to question the Veda. If you question the Veda without Shraddha, if you question the Veda, as an atheist, then Veda has nothing to say to you. But for a believer, one who trusts the words of the Veda, as a astika, in other words, when I take up this learning process, then you will begin to see how this gets transformed into knowledge. And Veda says, in this journey I am with you. And make sure you use Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. Your tool to move forward with the revelations is not through Pratyaksha and Anumana Pramanam, but the tools are Shruti. Shruti means Veda, listening to the Veda. Yukti, use your reasoning. It doesn't say blindly accept me, use the reasoning skills, Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava. This Yukti Anubhava makes it very clear that there are certain belief systems that can be actualized into knowledge, converted into knowledge, because it talks about Anubhava. And so, the non-verifiable belief are beliefs like heaven, hell, because we don't plan to go there while in the body. So we'll never really find out Anubhava, only by the time I get Anubhava, the body will be gone. And therefore, some beliefs will remain non-verifiable. But certain other beliefs are definitely verifiable. And some of them are knowing the nature of Bhagavan, who is our creator. Verifiable is knowing his nature, and the tradition says knowing the nature of divinity is knowing your divinity, your essential nature. Ishvara Darshanam, I pointed out, is Atma Darshanam. This is a big equation Veda makes. E equals mc square, you heard when you were in 6th standard. It took another 10 years before you could understand what it meant. Equations are never easy to understand, because two sides of the equation is always so different. Where is E? Where is M? There is one alphabet there are two alphabets here. There is no numeral there is one numeral sitting on top. And between this there is a equal to sign, na. How am I supposed to understand this? Well, don't worry. Just give 10 more years of study, you will understand. The school teacher tells us, Any equation is a challenge to understand. Why? Because it's not about 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 plus 1. That's also an equation. But is that really an equation? An equation is an equation when both sides are dissimilar from each other. Dissimilar, totally different. If you say, you want to talk about an equation, you say 5 plus 4. What is 5 plus 4? 5 plus 4 is? 5 plus 4 is 10 minus 1. 5 plus 4 is 10 minus 1. How can it be? This is 5, there is no 5 that side. There is a 4 here, there is no 4 that side. You put a plus sign here, you put a minus sign there. I mean, what do you mean 5 plus 4 equals 10 minus 1? You don't understand? I don't understand. Maybe you will need 5 years, not 10 years, but idea is, in an equation, both sides are dissimilar. The Veda says that thou art. You are that. You, the jiva, the individual, you, the mortal being, you who considers yourself as a mortal being, you, born yesterday, equals that, the immortal, who was never born, who knows no conditionality, that's how you understand it. That thou art, you are that, is an equation of the Veda. And remember, as an equation, I set my ground well, both sides are dissimilar. You don't have to tell me, you are so ridiculous, look at the two sides, they are so dissimilar. That's why I have an equation. If it is similar, then it's not really an equation to talk about. It has to be dissimilar. It is dissimilar. Then Ammaji, I am very clear, this is a non-verifiable belief. Veda may have said, I don't know for what, but it is non-verifiable. Veda says you are wrong. It is totally verifiable. It is a belief for now for you because you haven't been initiated into this knowledge. It is a verifiable when we say not as a belief system, it is a body of knowledge. And it appears in the end of the Veda called Vedanta, and it teaches us who every mortal essentially is. It teaches every individual who you essentially are. It describes all that is here is one. This is not a belief system, this is knowledge. And knowledge, nobody will ask you, no good teacher of Vedanta will ever ask you, do you believe what I say? He can only ask, do you understand what I say? Are you with me? Do you know what I say? And if you say, well, I have apprehensions, okay, what are your questions? Shruti, Yukti. Veda never shies away from a questioning mind and gives us the tools. You use your Yukti. Let me also show you the fallacy of your own thinking. If you have intellectual honesty, be ready to revise your own thought system that has made you make wrong conclusions about the world. And therefore, Yukti is a very powerful tool in Vedantic study. In fact, in India, the Indian logic system of Indian logic is a very, very highly developed system of logic. It's called Tarka Shastra. And so, why? Because Veda uses the same Tarka to point out fallacies in logic, fallacies in our own reasoning capacities, where we end up dropping based on our linear thinking. We have linear thinking. Linear thinking is not what a multi-dimensional universe is about. A mind with linear thinking alone cannot access a multi-dimensional universe. And so Veda gives us access to a world that a mere human scope of perceptual knowledge has no access to. And therefore, here we are, Shruti Yukti Anubhava, based on this revelations, we are looking at the classical studies of Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutras. This threefold work is considered to be the heart, the spine, the backbone of spiritual India. Not for 50 years, but for 50,000 years. As long as there's been a creation, the Vedas have been there, and these revelations have been given, and to two people who were evolved. We think that human mind, intellect evolved. Of course, Darwin theory of evolution and all holds no water today. But in our tradition, we talk about a yuga, a Satya Yuga. Creation is cyclic for us, not vertical. And therefore, Satya Yuga, where all this knowledge was there, not only of the physicality but also of the non-physical universe. And then from there comes Treta, Dwapara, Kali. And our tradition looks at it as a pendulum, it's a swing. So from Satya to Treta, then it comes down Dwapara to Kali. Then from Kali it goes back to Treta, Dwapara and Satya. Dwapara, Treta and Satya Yuga. So it is, time moves as a pendulum. And so along the lines of these revelations, we have other, literary works emerged in our country over thousands of years. And they were called Smritis, Smriti Granthas. Shruti is the Veda and Smriti is taking Veda as the basis. Certain literature was given by scholars, by people of great vision to make this knowledge clearer. And along those lines of Smriti Granthas, we have many texts, and this whole package, the literary tradition of India, which we call the Vedic civilization, has 14-fold Vedic knowledge. Purana Nyaya Mimamsa Dharma Shastra Anga Mishritaha Vedasthanani Vidyanam Dharmasya cha Chaturdasha. 14-fold Vedic knowledge. So Puranas, Nyaya, Mimamsa, Dharma Shastra and Anga is 6-fold. Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandas, Niruktam, Jyotisham, Kalpam. 4 plus 6 is 10, and the 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. This 14-fold framework is a foundation of the Indian Vedic indigenous civilization.